Hi there. So, welcome back to another episode of those live meetings every week and conversations about life, especially how to react, how to act, how to become more conscious about the things that are happening in our life. I'm still waiting for some people to join. And so, in the meantime, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Ania Haas, and I am a board certified coach. And my specialization is working with individuals to build them up, to become more conscious, to find inner strength, to find abundance of all different types of abundance. And so I use different types of tools, including past life regression. I have a psychology background, so I use psychology, but I focus on body and mind connection because I noticed that the more we are connecting what is written inside of our body, not only just speaking about what happened, the results are much faster. So whenever you are here, say hi to me. Whenever you have any comments, questions, join the conversation because then it's becoming more dialogue, not only my monologue. But what is the today's topic? So today I wanted to talk to you about what to do when you feel rejected, what to do when you feel insecure, what to do when something happened in your day and your regular and normal behavior would be to spiral down into the self pity, self victimizing role. And so, what to do instead? Many times we feel that things happen in our life and our reaction is based actually on an inner program, and so there is an inner code inside of us. Our nervous system created some kind of a behavior. um, Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So when you our nervous system is created has created pathway some kind of pathway to make you feel certain way, and usually in this pathway you create some kind of conclusion about yourself. So like things happen to everyone but they don't happen to me, or I'm not good enough, or if I would just be a little bit smarter, I'm an idiot. Whichever self conclusion you made for yourself, usually when something occurs, like feeling rejected, feeling abandoned, something didn't work, you received a negative feedback, you have this tendency to go back to that belief to make you feel even more insignificant, even more powerless. And so what happens when we are on the spiral down, you most of the times go into self blame. And so when we are blaming ourselves, we are questioning our behavior, making ourselves to be responsible fully for the occurrence that happened. So let's say you argued with your friend, and there was an argument, and maybe you felt rejected on some level, and then you are sitting at home later on in the evening, and you are quieting questioning every single moment of that conversation. You're questioning if you are a good person, if you had the right to explain how you felt on the inside. And so it's very interesting how we keep repeating and keep looping, going back and creating stories. So basically, there was a conversation then there is a story that we keep telling ourselves about what happened. And because of our core of our inner belief system, we start going back to that. So if I wouldn't be such an idiot, maybe I could have said something different. Or if I could not explain myself so much to the other person, because now I feel inferior to the person that I connected with or I felt rejected from. I know this because sometimes it happens to me that I will have a very hard conversation with somebody, and then or I feel paralyzed in a moment, and then when I am by myself, I am thinking, oh wow, why did I say so much? Or why did I not say enough? Or why did I open myself so much? I shared maybe too much. And now maybe those things are going to be twisted against me. So our mind is constantly questioning us based on our inner program. So if our inner program is I'm not good enough, the questioning is going to be actually stained by our inner belief. And so we are overthinking and looping constantly in that overthinking. And you feel probably like shame, you may feel anger, you may feel sadness for the feeling of rejection, you may feel frustrated that or powerless, that you didn't have power. Or many times when we have conversations actually with people that are we believe stronger than us, maybe they actually make us feel that we were blocked on some level and we couldn't explain how we really felt because they shut us down in a certain moment. And so what to do instead of isolating and overthinking and self-blaming, because all of these, they lead us to feeling like a victim. They make us feel that we are not significant, that we are less than others, and we are not feeling well and good about ourselves. And it really even supports even more of our belief system. So instead, so the most important thing is to there is a moment. So let's say there was a feeling of rejection, there is a feeling of abandonment, there is a feeling of this negative self-judgment that is starting to come to the surface. So I want you to do is you can definitely can recognize that moment. So it doesn't happen like boom, it's here. There's a moment of like you feeling not good, and then there is like this space in between, spiraling down and feeling this the other isolation and like feeling like a victim. In that small window, I want you to start become aware what you are doing, because what happens when you miss that window of opportunity for you become very aware and have choice, the next thing is to get into this black hole. I've called it a black hole. In this black hole, you want to disappear because you are so limited and not feeling good about yourself that you just don't want to even be alive sometimes. And so in this window of opportunity, you can start, let me see here what you can start doing. You can start realizing that the whole thing, what happens to you, is a part of the program that you are running on. And when you become aware that it happens in the cycles, then you can have enough of your consciousness and awareness to step outside of it. And so when you scan your life back, I know that you can pinpoint the moments when you felt the same, and you felt the same, and the same conclusion about yourself was happening, and the same victim self started to come to the surface, and the same being in this black hole was starting to happening. And so you can be in this black hole for as long as you want. And I know from working with my clients that at the very beginning of this conscious life, you can be in this victimized black hole, terrible moments, for a week, 2 weeks, and feeding off on this victim energy and self pity, to the moment that at some point you need to stand up, get up, and you have to do something. And so, why to lose 2 weeks of your life when you have this window of opportunity to choose different? You have a right to choose different. So, what you need to do is start shifting the inner program that is making you spiraling down into this core code that is within you. It's inside of your nervous system, automatic nervous system. Okay, so let's say if in the moment of the window you want to go into your belief system and say to yourself, I'm not good enough. It doesn't happen to me, it happens to everyone. And then I want you to stop and I want you to question, how real is this statement? Is this statement real for this moment? Or is this sentence, this belief, real for every moment of your life? And so then I want you to start evidence how not truthful it is. So let's say if you say to yourself, I'm not good enough, then you can question yourself, am I always not good enough? Or am I feeling not good enough today because I felt rejected? So if I felt rejected today, I am starting to have all of those other things that are attaching to that core feeling, pointing out that I'm not good enough. So finding evidence that you're not always not good enough, that sometimes you are more than good enough. And so then you can say to yourself, I am good because I can make great breakfast. I have a great conversations with people. I'm a very empathetic person. So when you start finding evidence that your core belief is actually not real, then you have like segue, you have like a segue to go into another belief about yourself. And so what can you do next? So you can reshape it. So let's say the habits don't happen just one time and you have this habit. Your belief system was shaped over the last many years. So then it will be very hard for you to rip it, with the whole core and never ever feel the same ever again. It's never possible like this. But you can very slowly, like a water, like drip over water, like water it down. And so like by you deciding to consciously reshape and do the segue into proving yourself that it's not true, your belief, the old belief system is not true, then you can actually start creating a new habit. And so what happens with the habit, when we have this habit for extended period of time, it becomes undivided part of our belief system. So it's almost like when we are learning how to eat, like when the baby is learning how to eat with the spoon, at the very beginning makes many mistakes. But when we become and learn how to eat with the spoon, you know it for life how to eat with the spoon. So it's basically the same thing. When we learn our new habit, and when we keep repeating it over and over and over again, it becomes part of our unconscious, it becomes part of our automatic nervous system. And so the old belief system is at some point being replaced with the new belief system that you consciously created about yourself and about your life. What I want you also to do in the moments when you are not feeling good about yourself, I want you to become very mindful. And so practice being gentle with yourself. And so kind and gentle. Instead of telling yourself something that is negative and judgmental, and turning on this negative inner critic inside of us, I want you to be mindful. And so I want you to think of options. What can I do instead? So let's say normally when I would feel rejected, I would go into the isolation and not feeling well about myself, shutting myself out from the world. So let's say you have this type of behavior. So what can you do instead? What kind of new coping mechanism you can start bringing into your life in order not to follow the old and not like very limiting pattern. And so let's say maybe you could put some good music on and start moving your body. Maybe you can take your notebook and write down 10 things that you can do inside of yourself. Like if you think about this, there is something hi guys, so there is something that is called DMN. It's a default mode network inside of our brain. And so when we start having this negative self-talk about ourselves, when we feel rejected, we are blaming ourselves, and then we want to isolate ourselves. Our brain is actually firing up this information, fires up, fires up, fires up. But it takes between 90 seconds to 3 minutes to actually shift and clear this mind from all of this negative self perception into more open and unlimited potential thinking. And so I always like to think, what can I do within this 90 minutes to 3 minutes to shift my perception, to clear my mind, to become mindful, to become more positive? And so there are different techniques. So if you want to focus on something that is outside of yourself, then you're not focusing on this firing up mind that is wanting to make you feel bad about yourself. So let's say if you have opportunity to look with your eyes on something that is outside, then focus on that which is moving outside. For example, for the time when you feel this energy on the surface, you can also hear. So let's say if you are at home, you can hear the humming of the fridge. You can hear maybe the furnace working. You can hear the traffic that is outside. If you don't have opportunity to hear anything or to see anything, you can start feeling things with your fingers. You can touch the surface. You can touch your clothing and focus fully on what your fingers are perceiving. So the more you are focusing on that which you are focusing, the more you are taking away the mind from the mind the possibility to make you feel little. Okay, so another amazing tool is your breath. I know that it's very hard sometimes, especially at the very beginning, for people to focus on the breath. But if you focus on breathing pattern and focus on the area of your nose and like just sense it, how the air comes through your nostril and goes into the lungs, and then if you count, let's say to 4, and then count to 4 on the exhale, and do the same, and do the same, and do the same. And then you can even shift how the breathing pattern, taking it for 4, and then very slow down the exhale and do it for on a count of 8. Such an amazing tool. Not only you are cleansing your thoughts, but actually you're bringing more of the oxygen into your body. Because what happens to us when we are in the fight and flight state, we are actually so stressed that our lungs are not working on a full capacity. So how great it is to have such a tool as breath, which is always present for us, to use it for actually feeling better about ourselves. Okay, so the next thing what I would like you to do is to start visualizing yourself. So let's say you are in this moment that you have this window, you're deciding to not to go into the spiraling down. You took the energy. Hi, love. Hi, hi. So you took this panic, or you took this energy that was firing so much from your brain, and you were able to rest it through your breath, through your mindful awareness. And so the next step is to give yourself space to visualize yourself. And so what I want you to do is to visualize yourself in your positive state, because the truth is that your brain cannot tell the difference between illusion and reality. And so your belief system is connected to the old story. And so the old story that you are keep repeating to yourself, you keeps you very small, and it keeps you stuck. And so, what I want you to do instead is start building a new story about yourself, a new story that is based on your visualization techniques. And so, when you are sensing yourself, I want you to find 5 aspects of you, 5 things that you like about yourself, and start imagining them as they are the most out there, that can build actually your presence. And so the more you are actually embodying, those aspects of you that you are liking the most, the more actually you're going to feel them in your life. And again, I want you to look for evidence. I want you to look for the evidence that support your new belief. Otherwise, you're going to constantly be in this old pattern. So what you are doing by you um, visualizing, creating a new perception of yourself, creating a new self identity, you're actually shifting this core code that is within yourself. And so you don't have to be so judgmental to yourself. You can say to yourself, yeah, I make mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes. When I felt rejected, then you can say to yourself, maybe that it was the blessing coming from the sky that I was rejected. Maybe this friendship was not for me. Maybe I did not understand before that I am unheard, or maybe it was something that was just not good for you. So when you think about this, when good things happen to you, they happen to you because of the blessing. And when you're in your own imagination, this is this distinction between good and bad. But when those bad things happen to you, you start feeling negative about yourself. But if you shift your perception and start looking at the things that happen to you, they always happen to you because there is goodness in all of those things for you, then you can start looking at this quote negative things or bad things that happen to you, that they are also blessings, because maybe, and we don't know that, maybe they are preventing you from going into the wrong path. Maybe they are proving you that this is not the way to go. Hey, stop, rethink it, refeel it, and then move on. And so this is very powerful way of looking at your life. Instead of looking hi, so instead of looking at those things that happen to you as they are making you feel small about yourself, start looking at them that they are happen to you to help you to grow, help you to become, hey Brian, so they are happening to you to make you grow out of this old into something that is bigger. Always think that there is a more opportunity instead of thinking that there is more of limitation. Get yourself out from this belief. Go into this open belief that there's always opportunity, there's always possibility to grow, there's always possibility to evolve. And that's what we are here to do. We are here to grow out from the old stuff. And by us being clear about us here, we can create so many wonderful things. Okay, so what are your coping mechanisms? So let's say if your coping mechanism is to isolate yourself, if your coping mechanism normally is to be angry with the whole world, that things just bad things happen to you and you just feel anger, sadness, frustration, you feel shame, you feel all of this things, all of those emotions that are making you feel insecure. How is this coping mechanism helping you? I don't think it's really helping you more than you should look at it and say, do I really want to go there? Do I really want to use this coping mechanism? Is this maybe in the past? Somehow it was beneficial. Maybe in the past, like just imagine you're 5 years old, like boo boo happened, you fell down, mama was there to kiss you, to hug you, and then tell you that you are all good. So now, as adult, there's no mom to kiss your boo-boo. There's no mom to do all of those things for you. So what kind of positive, empowering coping mechanism you can create for yourself to not fall into the self-rejection mode, not to fall into the self-criticism? What can you do that is positive and opening you up? And so we all like to be for a little bit in this self-pity. So you can give yourself space and be, okay, I'm just going to feel bad about myself, but do it in a conscious way. And then after a while, go take a cold shower, brush your own feathers, and say to yourself, it's enough. I'm not going to go too much to the front and evolve if I have my old coping mechanisms. So instead, what can you do? What kind of activities can you do to get into your power, to get into this empowerment that you have inside of yourself? Like for me, for example, very important is physical activity. If I don't get physical activity, I don't feel inside of me that I have power. So body and mind is very connected. So if I want to have mental clarity, what can I do with my body to help me to get into this clarity. Sometimes I just need to go and do Pilates. Sometimes it's more yoga, but sometimes I just need to go for a walk and look outside and feel connected to the nature. What can you do physically? Let's say if you need energy right in this moment, I want you to start jumping. Jump on one leg, two legs, use your hands, put music on, dance, use your body to bring you more energy inside of yourself. Okay, so since body and mind is so connected, and of course it's connected to your own belief, you can also through the mind create relaxation for your body. Okay, so let's say if you start using breathing techniques, you can relax your body also, so there is no negative aspects of you feeling it in your nervous system. Okay, so another coping mechanism, if you have any ideas about coping mechanisms, shared here with me, because I'm sharing my own. But what else can be done? I very often sit with my journal. And so I told you about the DMN inside of our brain. So let's say if my mind is constantly giving me negative, 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 when I clear it, then I give myself space to think outside from the box, to think from my clear mind, what are the solutions to the problem? So if you are limited, if your mind is so tight and you are feeling like so tight, your solutions can be also very, very tight and very, very narrow in really bringing change. But if you clear your mind, then you can have so many new ideas. If you think bad about yourself, your solutions will be very shallow. But if you start visualizing, if you start with your habits, think good about yourself, if you're going to find evidence that you are a good person, that you have possibilities, if you start building your talents, if you start seeing your talents, then you actually also raise your vibration and have more solutions for yourself. Okay, so I also want to suggest, if you struggle and you often are spiraling down, hi Mary, when you struggle and you are spiraling down very often and it seems like it's hanging on you very, very heavily, then I suggest you to talk to a professional. But not only to a professional that is going to hear your story, because hearing the story is very, very nice, because then just by you expressing it, it could be very empowering. But there is a next level of your work, and it is body-mind connection. So you need to activate yourself into a new way of thinking. You need to activate yourself into a new vibration by actually releasing the old. If you don't release the old, then if you have belief system that constantly remind you you are not good enough, or you feel rejected over and over again and you don't feel good about yourself, then your visualization can also not bring the results that you want, because the core of you and your belief is still coded within your autonomic nervous system. So instead, practice the release. Find a therapist, find a practitioner. I do it with my clients and I practice it all the time, because it's such a powerful tool to actually shift the perception through releasing the core. And releasing the core, actually, this code is a process. So I always would have to say, Be aware of individuals that are making you promises that are going to make you shift very quickly. There is no quick shifts in your life. There is no magic wand that is going to make you from here to be here in a moment. It's a self work. It's called self work. The journey of living consciously, the journey of living consciously is a journey, is a decision for the lifetime, is a decision. It's a decision that you are going to take to not to choose into the spiraling down from the past, but those aspects, they will keep resurfacing in your life, but you will look at them from different perspectives when you are practicing self-work, when you are practicing consciousness, when you are building your new habits, when you are deciding on new habits. It's almost like addiction. So it's very addictive and natural to go into the old. It's like, yeah, it's simple because that what was always happening. I always felt that I'm not good enough. I always felt like a victim. But do I really want to do it again? Do I really want to do it again? Because then it doesn't feel good. And so then there is like this weight of both. Like you already know that this is not the way to go. But before this fully starts be open in your life, it takes a little bit of time. So both of them exist at the same time, and then because you are building more of this, then it starts flowering more and opening the buds more and more and more, and you don't even know when this has no more power and it's just going to release on its own. It will still show up from time to time to check on you. Are you sure you're good enough? Are you sure you change your belief? And so you have to pay attention to that little check-ins that are happening from the universe. But when you worked thoroughly and you are always deciding to look for the better, for the more optimistic, for the more positive, then you're going to notice the red flag and you'll say, oh no, thank you, I'm not even going into this direction, I'm not even choosing to look in there, because I know what's hidden inside of this. And so I always think that it's interesting how things come back, but it's always not always, but like it's really amazing to be able to recognize your own self-work and be so happy and celebrate actually your own self-work, because when you start seeing the results of your inner work or your inner choices of your actually the things that you've done, then you can say to yourself, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. And so, again, when you start feeling rejected, when you start feeling abandoned, when you start feeling that things don't happen to you the way you want, when you start feeling that there are blocks in your life preventing you from going forward, I don't want you to go into the spiral. Think it's okay. Maybe the universe is checking on me what I've learned already. And what can I do instead? My typical behavior of isolating myself, self-blaming myself, not feeling good about myself. Well, there is the other side that is always present, always there for us to choose. Don't choose something just because you know how it feels. Choose something that you will learn how it feels. Okay? Well, I wanted to say thank you for today. And so, if you have any comments, any questions, contact me privately, contact me through text message. I wanted to invite you this coming Wednesday. At 6 p.m., I have the 1 hour class, which is connected to processing our state of self-worth. For individuals that bought my book, The Essential Thread, I prepared 8 weeks of self-work. It's a process work. I require you to read the book, but actually we are not going to it's not like book reading club that we are going to go over the book. The book is for you to read. What I'm going to do is to process. So I'm going to actively do with everyone that takes part processes to connect body and mind and learn how to shift and rise our self vibration and self worth to the next level. So if you still want to take the part, it's open. And so it's already tomorrow. So I'm super, super excited to see everyone that is going to take a part. And so that's it for today. And I will see you next Tuesday on our next live coaching session. Okay. All right. Bye.